All right, so that was all my finished objects. 4 of them. Wow, I think that's the most I've had. I caught myself off with the Owen Wilson wow again. I have to put it in again, maybe.
Wow.
And welcome to episode 16 of the Cozy Moth Knits podcast. My name is Caitlin, and this is a podcast dedicated to my adventures in knitwear and exploring other different types of fiber arts like crocheting, spinning, embroidery, anything that involves fibercraft. This is something that I'm very interested in, and this is what this podcast is dedicated to. It's mostly a knitting podcast. I am throwing some crochet in there, and with other fiber crafts, I am learning slowly but surely, and I'm bringing you all along on the journey with me. So we are 16 episodes in, and if you haven't subscribed, or if you just happen to be one of those people who's been binge watching all my videos, that's something that I totally do. Not my own videos, of course. It's like, oh no, I sit down and on a Friday night I watch my own videos, and it's a fun time. I'm not that much of a narcissist. If this is your first video, welcome. Again, my name is Caitlin, Cozy Moth Knits, the podcast. We have fun here. You can find me on Instagram at the Cozy Moth Knits and on Ravelry as or at Cozy Moth Knits. And I'm not very active on Ravelry. I use it mainly to buy patterns. I don't really use it as a social media, but I am quite active on my Instagram page, and that's what I use mainly to communicate with my followers. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 2,000 followers maybe before the end of summer. That would be nice. I was gonna say 2,000 followers before my birthday, but my birthday is July 6th, and I'm posting this on June 13th. So I mean, I don't think that'll give me enough time to gain 2,000 followers, but that would be nice. It'd be a lovely birthday present. So if you want to help me reach that goal, hit the subscribe button. Maybe I'll do a giveaway if we reach 2,000 subscribers. That'd be lovely, right? So yeah, anyway, so for those of you who have been here for a while, who have been here since the beginning, back in September of last year, you knew that I have been putting out podcasts or on a fairly regular basis, bi-weekly. And you guys have been on this journey along with me. But starting in mid-April, I took a bit of a break because mainly because I was finishing up my last semester at grad school, and I had procrastinated a little bit with my capstone project. So I was like, you know what? I don't have time to knit. I don't have time to sit down and film a podcast. So I'm gonna, take a break for the rest of April / the beginning of May, and I'll get right back into it. So I, finished my capstone. I graduated in the beginning of May. My master's degree is sitting right there, and in all its glory. That $50,000 piece of paper. It's right there. We flew down to Georgia so I could graduate, and flew back up to Delaware, and I got back, and I knew throughout all of, some of you, I might have alluded to this and kind of mentioned it in past podcasts, my mental health was kind of on the down. And I was thinking okay, it's just the seasonal affective disorder, it's winter, it's January, February, March, I need sunlight. That's most likely what's happening. I'll get right back into the swing of things once I get some of that Georgia sunshine. After I go down and graduate, turning a new chapter in my life, got my master's degree, soaking in the Georgia sun, and then I'm gonna be cured, right? No, I came back and I just kept going down. It was just like really, I was in a really, I wouldn't say a really dark place, but I was just like down, like very down. I was with my mental health. And so I couldn't bring myself to knit anything for some time. And I couldn't, and even when I did start picking up again, you know, my knitting, my crochet and everything, I couldn't sit down and in front of the camera and film a podcast knowing that I just wasn't in the right mindset, you know? And I didn't want to do that to you guys. You know, I want to put out content that is something you enjoy, and I don't want people looking at me saying like, oh, is she okay? She seems kind of down. She doesn't seem like her normal self, you know? So I was just like, you know, I'm going to hold off. I'm going to give myself a little bit more time. And I'm like, I'm going to start back up again in June, and then I'm going to try to get back into the swing of things the best that I can. So here we are. I posted a video last Thursday. If you're watching this the day it comes out, where I walked you through the process of me changing my separate spare room into my knitting studio. And if you haven't seen that video, click the link up here and go watch that. It was a lot of fun for me, and this is my first podcast in this new room, and I'm excited to start you know, new projects here. So yeah, in terms of the podcast moving forward, I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to the bi-weekly. I don't know if I'm going to start doing monthly instead. I feel like I could show you guys more in terms of like what I'm working on, and I mean and stuff like that. I will say that going forward, I have plans for doing non-podcast videos on this channel, maybe more like more produced videos. So I still want to have podcasts, but then also throw in some more produced videos in there, you know, meaning like knit with me's or product reviews or, you know, things of that sort. Things that like they're shorter videos than a podcast, but take more time to edit. And it's just something that I see this channel in the direction that it's going, and I want to give it a shot. So I have a bunch of ideas that I want to see come to fruition in the upcoming summer months and into fall, and I'll think of more ideas as we come along. So that's those are kind of my thoughts for the channel. Podcasts will come out. It just depends on where I am in terms of my filming schedule, my video schedule, and like what I actually have done and what I'm working on. And that'll determine whether or not you'll get one podcast a month or two, if that makes sense. You know, just hang in there with me. I'm trying things out. I'm not leaving you guys. I haven't forgotten about you. I love you guys so much. And I love being able to get to know you and spend time with you guys. And speaking of spending time, I am going to get back to the monthly virtual maker meets. I did them, I think I did 3 of them. But now and then I took a break again in April and May, and I'm going to start them up back again in June. So our next maker meetup will be Sunday, June 27th, from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow my Instagram for more details. I'll be posting more about that. It's been great to talk with you guys in person. A lot of you guys I message, you know, on Instagram and, you know, engage with you on there. But it's great just to see everyone, you know, and put faces to names. It's a lovely group, and I love these guys so much. And I'm very thankful for all of them, and I hope you would join in with us soon. So we have a lot to cover today. So I think that we're going to tackle first are my finished objects, and I have quite a few finished objects. The first finished object I'm going to talk about is a pair of socks that I don't have with me right now because I knit them up as a birthday present for my dad, and his birthday was in the middle of May. So I started these socks when on the weekend that I flew down to Georgia to graduate with my master's degree. I don't know about you, but I love to travel. I love traveling. I love exploring new places, but I hate flying. I am a terrible flyer. I am so stressed out. So the only thing that, or the one thing that keeps my mind off of the idea that I'm in this big metal tube flying across the country is knitting. And I normally, what I've been doing lately is I've been, taking a pair of socks to work on, or I'll dedicate those pairs of socks to, the trip I was on. So I didn't do that for myself this time. I did it for my dad. And I knit him the furrow socks by Heather Asbeck. And because I was looking for a pair of socks that had texture to them. I didn't want to deal with any color work while on the plane. I'd rather just work with stitch definition and different kinds of stitches. Just something a little bit different. I didn't want to give him just like plain vanilla socks. I wanted to give him something a little bit more interesting. I dug through my my current stash and I found some gray yarn. The gray yarn, I can't remember it didn't have a label on it. And I bought it last year, I know, but I don't remember the name of the label. And then for the cuff, heel, and toe, I had an extra skein left over from my first Cozy Classic raglan that I knit back in October. And so I wound that up into a cake, and here it is. It is the Ritual Dyes Maven yarn in their chestnut colorway. And I adore this color so much. It's just the perfect rust, or the perfect rust color red. And I knit a whole sweater in it, and I just love it so much. And I wore that sweater to death all winter. It's still alive. It's still good. And I'm looking over here because it's over here. But yeah, so that was my color combination. I used up all of the gray, otherwise I would have it with me. But I was really happy with how they turned out. For those of you who've been here for a while, you know that I knit my dad a pair of socks for Christmas along with my other family members. And my dad loved those socks so much that he wore a hole into the heel like within a month. He wore them so much, and he would wear them in his work boots because they were really thick socks. So that kind of contributed to the making of the hole. And also was that when I made those socks, I was very early on in my sock making abilities. And I made the socks with a German short row heel because that was all I knew. That was the only heel I knew how to do, and that's what the pattern called for. It was an Arne and Carlos pattern, and most of their socks have the German short row heel to them. So I knew that next time I made a pair of socks for my dad, they would have a reinforced heel or heel flap so that he doesn't wear a hole into the socks, hopefully. So I gave them to him on his birthday, and of course he loved them. And I'm really happy with how they turned out. It kept me sane while on the flights to and from Georgia, but I'm glad that he likes it so much. And I recommend this pattern a lot. It's super easy to follow. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I'll link it down below, as I do with all my patterns, or all the patterns that I use, and some of the yarn that I mention, if I can find it, or at least the dyers I'll link down below. But so yeah, I'm sorry, my one finished object that I don't have with me right now, but you saw the picture beforehand. But yeah, so that's my first finished object. My next finished object is another pair of socks, and this was a test knit that I did for Natasha of Northern Knits and Purl. And I was so happy that I was able to test knit these socks for her. I am just in love with them. I haven't even put them on yet. Well, one, it's been a little too warm to wear socks here in Delaware. It's been muggy and sweltering. But I'm so excited to start wearing these once it starts getting a little cooler out. And these are the Spring Rain socks. And they are so pretty. And I had so much fun making these socks. They were so, I just the details. Like the little detail on the cuff with the slip stitch and cable stitches, and then just the little pearls down the side, and the color work near the toe. I love it. They're like, they're so beautiful. And so many of the testers had so many great color combinations. And the sock really kept me engaged, because you know how sometimes you can get bored while making a sock, or you get second sock syndrome. But I was so excited to make these. I was just flying on them, and I love them so much. So the colors that I use for these socks are the main color is Ritual Dyes in their Maiden base. I'm fairly certain it's Maiden. And their colorway is Cancer. I really like the colorway, and I thought it was beautiful. And I just love the blue with the speckles of black, and the whites in there. And then I paired it with a light cream. It's I believe it's Schackenmeyer Premium Silk. I don't know the number of it, but it was in my stash, and I knew it would match really well with these. And the white looks like, clouds in a blue sky, and I'm really, really happy with how these turned out. And I love the heel too. It's kind of like what the inside of a slip stitch heel would look like, with the little, the slip stitches are on the outside. Yeah, it's so cool. And I think Natasha said that she likes to change up her heel every sock that she designs. It just adds a little bit of, flair, a little something extra. But these are great. I highly recommend this pattern. I cannot recommend it enough. Natasha's patterns are great. Just like beautiful, beautiful, well thought out, well written patterns. And you can find this pattern on Ravelry and on Etsy, and I believe on, I think there's another place that she has it. But yeah, and while you're here, and when you're finished this video, you can go give Natasha a follow. She's Northern Knits and Pearl on YouTube as well, and she talks about these socks as well, and all her other socks and patterns that she designs. And go give her a follow. She has such lovely cozy vibes over there. She lives up in the Pacific Northwest in Canada, and it's just, the vibes are immaculate. I wish I lived up there. I really do, but just gorgeous, gorgeous, and just such fun videos she makes. So yeah, those are the spring rain socks. All right, yet another finished object, and that is the roll neck tank by Hannah Singleton. And I was really in the mood to make a tank top, but a tank top that would knit up quickly, and it has a little bit of a crop to it, and that's what I did. I went ahead and did it, and it took me about a week and a half to make, picking it up on and off among other projects that I was working on. And I'm pretty happy with the result. It was super, super easy to make. Pattern was incredibly easy to follow. I love the little pearl detail along the bottom. It's just a nice little garment, You saw me wear it in my last video where I was, showing you around the new knitting space. And yeah, I knit it in, knit it in Bio Balance. I saved the label just for you guys. By BC Garn. It's and it is 55% pure organic wool and 45% cotton. I knew I wanted a cotton blend garment. That way it wasn't too hot. Like, I still wanted something that was more structured rather than drapey, like what you get with a cotton linen blend. But yeah, I like how this turned out. I like how wide the shoulders are. I like how it might not, I don't know if it's supposed to look like that or if I like messed it up, but I like how the join looks at the shoulders. I like how it turned out. It looks very clean to me, you know, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just a little detail that I like. It sits very close to the neck, as you saw in my last video. The only thing that I would go back and change, honestly, is that I would make it even more tighter on my waist or to my body. Is that because even with the waist shaping, it still flares out on my body, and I wanted it to be more, have more negative ease. My issue is that I have larger boobs, so you know, like sometimes it just doesn't turn out. Like even with the waist shaping, it's still like, so like it fits up here, you know, but once you get down to the waist, I mean, like it's not like I have like that skinny of a waist, but still like it still flares out just a little bit, and it bothers me just slightly. I'd rather it be more flush to my body. But yeah, that's my only gripe, and I could always go back, rip it back, and add more waist shaping. You can kind of see the decreases along the side, which I don't hate. I think they're interesting. But yeah, that's my only issue with the way the pattern turned out for me. I was looking at other people who knit the pattern, and it looked amazing on them. And one of my friends, Valerie, she's the queen of test knitting. I saw she test knit this as I was looking through all the you know, the pictures, and I was like, hey, you know, if it works for Valerie, it'll work for me. So my last finished object is actually a crochet project, and I made this project as part of my Sprout New Skills make-along, a make-along that is dedicated to learning a new skill. And we've all taken up, all of us who have joined the make-along have taken on a skill to learn in spring. So we've taken all of spring from March 20th to June 20th to learn a new skill within the fiber arts. So I decided to learn how to crochet because there's just something about spring and summer and crochet there's just something about crochet that screams spring and summer to me. You know, they're lightweight and boho and pretty, you know. So you saw my last podcast, I made I crochet little face scrubbies and a couple of washcloths just to get things started. And for my next project, I made a market bag. It's okay, you know. So I followed a YouTube tutorial, which I will knit down, or I'll knit in the down bar. I'll link down below to follow it. And you know, the pattern is great. She did a great job explaining it. Again, my issues are with myself. So I wanted a large bag, you know, and so the largest bag that the person who made the tutorial that she said was to chain, I think it was like 32 or to chain 30. And I was like, no, I'm gonna chain 40. And that's like from here to here was chain 40. And I was like, okay, this is fine. You know, like I could take it, you know, to the market and I'll have plenty of room. But then I had to do this like lattice work, you know, and I had to make that very long because I had to fold in half. So, and I was getting really impatient with this project because I expected it, you know, to take, you know, not very long, because crochet doesn't normally take very long from what I understand, from what I've seen. And in reality, the bag is supposed to hang more down here, but I got impatient. So it's kind of short, but it's wide, you know. It's very wide and it stretches. You can hold quite a few things in here. Let's throw some things in here. Got another project bag, some yarn, some notebooks. I mean, like, I can keep going, and like, you know, it does pretty good. It does pretty good. I did not do very well on the handles, as you can probably see. I'm still having trouble with my tension with the first initial starter chains. I don't know if that's the correct term. I don't think it is. Where it's really tight, and I did what a lot of you guys suggested, was to, you know, size up in a hook. That way it would be looser and not, you know, be super tight and like fold over here, but it didn't work. Maybe I need to size up 2 sizes with things like this. But yeah, I didn't have that problem here because, like, you start here, you know, along this edge right here, and I didn't have any problems with tightness. It was only in these straps. I don't know what it is. I don't know what my problem was. But overall, besides the straps, I'm happy with the result. I would make it again. If someone asked me, like, hey, like, if I buy the materials, can you make me a bag? Sure. It would take a while, but I'll do it. I was getting really tired of the chains. I mean, it helped. I will say that working with this really helped with my technique in terms of making the chain, because when I started this project, I had a really hard time chaining just in general. Like, I knew how, like, I had the motions going, but it was the holding. It was in my, Caitlin, put a sentence together, dear God. But like, I know how to hold the needle. I know the process of the motions. It was just the holding the yarn in my left hand that threw me off. I was trying to find the right weight of tension, and yeah, but this really helped me figure that out. It was really good practice. And now I can say I've made one of these trendy little market bags, and I'll take it to the farmer's market sometime soon. All right, so that was all my finished objects. 4 of them. Wow, I think that's the most I've had. I caught myself off with the Owen Wilson wow again. I have to put it in again, maybe.
Wow.
So moving on from finished objects, I'm going to show you some works in progress, or WIPs. So which one do I want to show you first? So I think I'll show you these socks that I'm working on. Because I finished pretty much one. So here's my little project bag from Paper Crane Yarns. Ashley over there. She makes great yarns, guys. I have a skein of hers right now that I'm itching to get on my needles really soon. Another pair of socks. But currently, so I pretty much have one sock done. I just need to sew up the toe. I don't know why I haven't yet and why I'm holding off. But anyway, so I am making the seashell socks by Melody Hoffman. And these are just the cutest little socks. And they're so, I don't know how, like, they cottagecore is what comes to mind. I don't know why, but I think cottagecore when I see these socks in this yarn. So these are just like little, they're shorter than they're shorter than a regular mid-calf sock, but they're taller than a shorty, so I don't know like what this, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I'm really loving this pattern. I just admire it. And it looks really intricate, but it isn't. I mean, I will tell you that the first couple rounds of the pattern are really finicky, but then once you get to round 3, then you're good. Then you got it figured out. You got the motions. It's, you know, it can be a little finicky or a little fidgety or whatever the, you know, the correct word is as you continue to go, but it's not nearly as bad as those first few rounds. But I'm really loving it. So the yarn that I'm using is Stress Knits Ophelia. And excuse the look of this yarn. This was actually a yarn that the first yarn that I ran through my ball winder, and I totally messed it up. Obviously. So it looks a little rough, but it does the job. So this is Stress Knits Ophelia in her favorite base. I don't know if she will continue to dye this. I hope she does. It's such a beautiful colorway. I got this around this time last year, and I was waiting for the perfect pattern to make this with. And I, you know, soon after I got back from Georgia, I wanted to get my knitting mojo back, so I started scrolling through Ravelry, just at, you know, looking at, you know, popular patterns, and like I added a bunch of patterns to my cart and I bought them all. And this is part of her what is it? This is part of her Simple Sock collection, or collective, which is a collection of 4 patterns. And they're all beautiful, but this one really stuck out to me. And I said, this is it. This is the one I will make with the Ophelia yarn. And it is just so gorgeous. And I started sock number 2 today. I'm about almost 3 pattern repeats in. But it goes surprisingly fast. I started this at the beginning of this week, I think. No, at the end of last week, so like last Friday. I'm already down 1 sock. And it's really thick. You know what? I was looking. It's so funny. I was looking for a sock too that was more lightweight, but I didn't like just to knit in the summer. But I didn't want to. I didn't want to knit like straight up lace socks, you know. And I was like, oh, this will be fine. But no, like it's a thick, squishy fabric at the end of the day. But it'll be great. Perfect for winter. Perfect for snuggly nights in November and December. So here they are again. I'm just in love with them. I can't wait to wear them every day, practically. And I have a little stitch marker from Wool & Charm, or Forest Charms. Sorry, I conflate. It's Wool & Forest on YouTube and Forest Charm on Etsy. But I use this marker to show like where I stopped for the leg, and then how many pattern repeats from here to, you know, until I started to knit the toe. Does that make any sense? That's the only reason why that stitch marker is there, or that progress keeper is there. But yeah, that's work in progress number 1, my seashell socks. Work in progress number 2 is a gift that I'm making for someone. And I have it in Ozetta. When she packages her yarn and sends it off, she puts them in these beautiful little canvas bags, and I couldn't get rid of them. I just couldn't. So I decided to make a little project bag. So I am making a baby blanket. Sorry about that. My phone just stopped filming for some reason. anyway, I'm making this baby blanket for a young woman in my church who is having a baby in October, and I felt compelled to knit her a baby blanket. So she's having a little girl. So here is what I've got so far. Don't come off the needle. Dang it. Here we go. Isn't it cute? I really like how it's turning out so far. Of course it needs to be blocked. I kind of just like shove it in my bag so it looks a little crinkly. But that's also the yarn as well. So yeah, she's having a little girl, and the mom, the mother of the baby that will be here soon, she loves bees, and you know, bees are like her thing, and you know, she was telling me they're already like getting like bee stuff for the baby, and you know, before like she even told me that, I was like, I gotta knit her, you know, like a yellow striped blanket because for the baby bee, but I didn't want to do black and yellow, you know, so I'm doing white and yellow because at the time I didn't know what gender the baby was going to be, so I was like, this is gender neutral. yellow is very gender neutral in terms of baby things, you know what I mean. Baby things shouldn't be gendered, I don't think, but you know what I mean. So yeah, that's what I'm working on so far. It's an all cotton blanket. Where are the labels? I know. So I got the yarn on sale at Michael's, and I bought a whole bunch of it. So the white is a Premier Cotton Fair in the color cream. It's just a fingering weight cream color. I didn't want to do like stark white because I feel like it would be too much. So like this really light cream. So like it's not like pure white because I like this patterns white, you know, you see the difference, the slight difference maybe. Like this patterns is just too white. A little like yeah, like way too white. Super bleached. I felt like that this was perfect. And then the yellow is this Karen Cotton Ripples. So the yarn has this like hand spun quality to it where it's like it's different sizes throughout. It's a little ripply. Yeah, again, another fingering weight, or just it's more of a sport weight, I think. But it works well together. So like the fabric comes out looking a little weird, but I kind of don't hate it, you know? I feel like it works fine. And again, these were on sale. I bought a few of them. I like the yellow of it. Yeah, oh, and I forgot to mention the pattern, I have it down here, is the Boho Baby Blanket by Appalachian Baby Design. I got it on Ravelry. So this was an $8 pattern. And I thought that, you know, I would be paying $8 for like, you know, a long pattern, like detail pattern. Nope, it was like one page and most of it was like, here's where you can buy the yarn. And the instructions were like, I don't know, like it was like rows, you know, 1 through 10 is the pattern, and then rows 11 through 14 is just garter stitch. So it's like, really? I paid $8 for that? Literally one page, I'm not exaggerating. And like, you know, not even a paragraph of instructions. So a little disappointed with that Appalachian Baby Design. I mean, you gotta make your money, but at least make it worthwhile. I don't think it was worth $8. Maybe $3. I think $3 I could get behind. I think if it's still a little more on the high end, but like that's a free pattern. If it's one page, it's a free pattern, in my opinion. Not trying to start beef with Appalachian Baby Designs, but because this is a beautiful pattern, and this was exactly what I was looking for. And could I have spent more time looking for a free pattern that was pretty much just like this? Sure. But I hope you're liking my money, Appalachian Baby Designs. I hope it's going to good use. But yeah, so that's the little baby blanket. Okay, and my final work in progress is not much of anything just yet. So this is what I currently have on my needles. Oh my goodness. So this is the beginnings of the Maya top. Here's a picture of what the top is supposed to look like because I can't really give you an idea right now. This is a fingering weight top, and it has a very long charted pattern, and my hope is to have this done before the end of the summer. We shall see. I don't know if that'll happen. So, but I would love to have it in time for my vacation in October. October, my husband and I are going to Southern California, and my hope is to be able to wear this around. So I am making this in, here I have a cute twisted up skein of it. Little yarn avalanche. It's the Undine yarn by Ritual Dyes in their Lamb's Ear colorway, which was a beautiful sage green. And I bought this yarn with the intention of making the Soul Tank by Jacqueline C. Slack. And I got a couple pattern repeats into it, or chart repeats. And I put it away because it was winter time and there were other things I wanted to work on. And I was like, I'll come back to it. But the more I thought about the tank, the more I felt that it wasn't going to be flattering on my body. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and Jacqueline C. Slack writes beautiful patterns, but I was just like, you know, I fell out of love with it, you know, and I was just like, you know, I don't know how that's gonna look on me. Maybe I want to try something else. So I went searching for different tank tops, and I found that rolled tank, which you saw earlier, and I found this one. So I was like, dude, that would be beautiful in this colorway. So we'll see if I stick to it, because this is a very light fingering yarn. Like it's practically a lace weight, or silk, like a lace weight, you know? It's beautiful, and I would love to have a garment in it, but I don't know. I really I have so many projects coming up and test knits, and because I keep signing up for test knits, and this has been on the back burner for a little bit, but I hope that over the weekend I'll at least get a little bit of work done on this. So I've done the ribbing for the very bottom of the tank, and then I'll start working on, and I blocked off, you know, where the lace pattern and everything's gonna go. So we shall see. But that's work in progress number 3. So there are also a couple projects that I have in the works. So this is like dream knitting / future knitting, this section of the video. So I keep going back and forth, and if I want to make the outline tank by Jessie May, Jessie May of Jessie Made Designs, and it's another linen top, a linen figure weight top. I'm sure that if you follow me, I have a feeling that you already know what this tank top looks like, but if not, I'll put it here. Another beautiful, innovative pattern by Jessie May. I love her patterns so much. I've knit several of them, and this is such a beautiful, such a beautiful top. And like I said, I keep going back and forth of whether or not I want to make it. I don't know. I just have so much that I want to work on this summer, and I know that would take up a lot of time, and I'm trying not to give in to what everyone else is knitting, even though I do that from time to time. But I really, really love it. And my friend Tracy, she's making one of her own, and I'm like, I want to make one too, but I don't know if I should. And she's like, we should have like a mini, you know, knit along, just the two of us. And I'm like, ooh, it's very tempting. So tempting. I really want to do it. Then finding the right yarn, because I don't have, all the excuses, Caitlin. Like, just so many excuses. But maybe next episode I'll have half an outline tank done. But we shall see. So that's like a dream knitting of mine, going back and forth on whether or not I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm like trying to think like would I actually get wear out of it, you know, things like that. I don't know, we shall see. So that's dream knitting number 1. Next, so I have one project that's coming up soon that I can't really talk about yet. It is a bit of a secret, but you will hear about it very soon. But it involves knitting. That's your hint. It involves knitting. But you will get to see that very soon, within the next month or so. And then I have 2 test knitting projects that I'm going to be working on soon. I'm waiting for the yarn to get in, and the patterns to be sent to me. So my first project is the Funny Pair Socks by Kelsey Gardner of Knitting Nakabi. My good friend Kelsey. She's done it again with another beautiful pattern, and this time it's a pair of socks. And they're like a mixed match set with color work, and it just looks so beautiful. And I went to my local yarn store today, and I picked up the colors that I'm going to be using for for this project. And I just realized they're both a little bit different, but you know, it'll be okay. So this is Caitlin, you're so stupid. So anyway, so I picked up some yarn at my local yarn store for this project, and they're both knit-wit yarns. So I'm just realizing now that one is labeled fingering and one is labeled sock. I mean, the biggest difference is that the sock has nylon in it. The fingering is just 100% merino. The way that this yarn store is really cute, it really is, but the way they were like all mixed in together, and I just saw these 2 colors. Look at this beautiful combination. This is the blue gray is called Gray Wolf, and the green is called the Sage. I'm really digging Sage lately, but I just found this combination, and I'm like, this is lovely. It's just so beautiful. Like, I need a pair of socks in these colors. I mean, it shouldn't be a problem, right? I mean, like, it's not like this is a DK and this is a fingering, you know, like the only issue is that this one doesn't have nylon in it. But that makes it more rustic, right? No, it's not, because this is superwash. But yeah, I guess it'll just hold up just a little bit longer. But, you know, it'll still make beautiful socks. I know it will. And, you know, and I was in that yarn store for like an hour trying to find the right yarn. And I finally found it, and I still messed it up. I still screwed it up. But you know how it goes. You know, what else is new with me? But in knitted wit, do make beautiful yarns. But this is my first time using them, so I'll let you know what I think about them. But I really don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think it will be okay. I mean, I don't wear my socks very hard. I only wear socks, or these, like I don't like wear them outside of the house very much, you know? My socks, I normally wear them at home in my slippers. So like, you know, it is what it is. I'm trying to cope with my little mistake, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, they're both very beautiful, and I'm happy, and I'm really excited to see how this test knit turns out, and I get to show you guys as well. Another test knit I am participating in is the Stripey Turtle Tank by Emily Curtis of 108 Stitches. And it's like I saw Emily talking about this tank top that she was designing for herself using, you know, her colors, and you know, it was coming out so beautiful, and I'll put a picture here, and I was just in love with how it was turning out. I think, you know, it was just gorgeous. And yeah, I just love how it was turning out. I love the structure of the top. You know, again, with the wide shoulders, and it's a little cropped, and I'm just like, I was just enamored with it. And as soon as she put, like immediately after she put out a call to test knit, I put my name in there just so quickly, not knowing what yarn I was going to use or anything. And she, you know, selected me to help her with the test knitting project or process. So I ordered some yarn from Bumblebee Acres. They had one minis set, because this pattern encourages you to knit with, you know, advent minis or any like scraps that you have around. So I ordered a mini skein collection, and that should be coming in very, very soon. And those are going to be, it's the I think it's called the Blossoms collection from Bumblebee Acres. I'll put a picture here. I don't know if it's still available. When I ordered it, there were three mini skein sets left. And for the main color, I can't figure out if I want to do like a light cream like this, or a light gray like this. So once the yarn comes in, I'll play around with it. I'll see how it goes. I think I'm going to be leaning more towards the cream. Be a fun, airy, you know, a light colored top, not airy, you know. But worst comes to worst, then I have this beautiful, beautiful bluish gray. And these are both Harvest fingering by Earth, URTH. This is Turkish yarn. It is 100% extra fine superwash merino. It's fingering weight. This is in the color Thyme, like the herb thyme, and this is in the color Ecru. And there's a hair. It's my hair, probably. So that's a cute little thing. It's in partnership with Trees for the Future. Each skein of earth yarns plants a tree in Africa. Planting trees not only prevents soil degradation, but provides food, marketable products, and fuel wood for families, increasing their income by 400%. Isn't that cool? Isn't that something? So yeah, those are projects being, you know, waiting to be done. So moving on from that, I'm gonna move on to the SproutNewSkillsMAL. So personally, in my SproutNewSkillsMAL video, I talked about how I wanted to, you know, tackle 3 different knitting projects, or 3 different crochet projects or variations of crochet projects. The first one being, you know, like you saw in my last podcast episode, you know, the face scrubbies and the washcloths. The second being a market bag, which you just saw. The third being amigurumi. And we have about a week left as of, you know, filming right now. We have a week left in the SproutNewSkillsMAL, and I don't know if I will be able to finish one. I've just been so busy right now, but my hope is to start working on it soon and maybe hopefully get one done. we shall see. I just, you know, life gets to you, and at least I can say that I have projects to submit to this make along, but I might not be completing all of them, but maybe we shall see. So again, that being said, the Sprout New Skills Mail ends on June 20th, 2021. So if you're watching this, and if you have made projects for the Sprout New Skills Mail, and you haven't posted your finished object pictures, do that now. You post your pictures to Instagram with the hashtag SproutNewSkillsMAL, and I see them. And once you post a picture of your finished project, then it will be entered into the giveaway. I originally thought I was going to draw 2 prizes for this make along, but then I decided I was just going to draw 1. But it's a really good prize, and I will talk about that right now. So the winner of the Sprout New Skills Mal will win an awesome prize package. So what is going to be included in your prize package is a collection of the following. So the first is going to be Knitting Nakabi's Spring Equinox box, and when she sent it to me, it was all wrapped up super pretty, so I'm not going to open it, and instead she sent me a video of her showing, you know, what's inside the box, so I'll put that here. And you know me, I have, you know, if you've been with this podcast for longer than a few months, you know that I always rave about Kelsey's yarn. Her yarn is so buttery soft. It is just exquisite. It's beautiful, and I always rave about her yarn. And in this Equinox box, she includes 5 minis and some other little goodies for you, and it's a great introduction to Kelsey's art that she creates, because that's what it is, you know, it's art. It's beautiful, it's stunning. And hopefully you'll fall in love just like I have with Kelsey's yarn. The next prize you will receive, or the next thing you will receive, is a collection of stitch markers and a progress keeper from my friend Tracy of Grizzly Knits, and I have it right here. Let's see, is it gonna... It's a little fuzzy, I'm sorry guys, but yeah, Tracy makes some gorgeous works of art. Cute little semi-precious stones, and they're just so lovely. And you know, I have one of her progress keepers myself, and I use it all the time. They're just so lovely. They're so cute. And again, hopefully this little prize will allow you to fall in love with Tracy's, you know, works of art just as I have. And yeah, and hopefully you'll support her and Kelsey and all the people here. I hope that even if you don't win the prize, that you will support these amazing artists. So the next prize you will receive is a project bag. Is a project bag from Sierra of All Knit Up. So I currently don't have her project bag with me. She's sending it to me soon. But I have a little, you know, screenshot of her Etsy store, and I'll put that here. And I'm just recently discovering Sierra. She reached out to me, I mean, like her bags. And she's fairly new to Etsy, and she just has the cutest little project bags, and I will be getting one for myself very soon. And they are just, you know, they're adorable, they're lovely, and you guys will get to enjoy them, or one of you guys will get to enjoy a brand new project bag, because, you know, you can never have enough. You know, you never have enough yarn, project bags, notions. You just keep going, you know. So in addition to those 3 physical things that you get to, that will come in a that will come in a package that you'll receive physically. You will also receive 3 patterns. 3 different pattern writers have graciously offered to gift the winner one of their patterns from their collection. So that first pattern writer is Natasha of Northern Knits and Purl. I was just talking about her earlier and talking her patterns up, and as you can see here, her patterns are gorgeous, lovely, so well thought out, unique. I love them and I love her, and she's just, and again, so gracious of her to offer to gift one of you guys one of her patterns. So that is that's pattern number 1. Pattern number 2, one of you guys will get to receive, or is like, you will also be able to pick a pattern written by Abby of Cozy Crafting. And I have talked about Abby in the past. She's the one who wrote the pattern for the Margot socks, which I love so much. And I made those Margot socks for my mom for her birthday back in April. And she doesn't just have the Margot socks, of course. She has plenty of other patterns that you can choose from. And again, she will gift that to you as well. And the third pattern writer is the lovely Dina Meshlenko on Ravelry. And she also has some beautiful, beautiful cowls and scarves and hats that you guys can choose from as well. I have not knit one of her patterns yet, but I am looking forward to making at least one in the upcoming fall and winter. And because they're beautiful. Again, so well thought out. I love, me and my textures. And I love how she has incorporated what she has done with textures in her patterns. So what you would do is that for you to pick the pattern that you want, you will just look at the patterns that each of the designers have created. Let me know what you want, like which pattern you want, and then give me either your Ravelry username or your email, or any other way you would like to receive the pattern, and I will let the designers know, and then they'll send those patterns over your way. And yeah, so I will be picking a winner. I think I'm gonna do it at least within the week following the 20th, whether it be the 21st or maybe a couple days after. I will post about the winner on Instagram, as well as I'll probably put a post on here on YouTube. I don't think I'll make a video, but I will announce the winner on Instagram, and I will message you over there. I think that's it. I can't believe, again, like, time has flown by so fast, and it makes me happy to see all you guys participating in this knit along or make along, and you guys have done such a great job and made such beautiful works of art, and I'm glad that we were all part of this together, and it was such a fun time. So I think that's all I have to say today. It was a lot, but it was all I have to say. And I appreciate you being, or I didn't mention this earlier, but I wanted to say here that I appreciate you all being so patient with me over these past couple weeks, pretty much over a month at this point, where I, kind of like disappeared for a little bit and slowly started coming back into the knitting community after my little break for my mental health. And I'm happy to be getting back, and I again greatly appreciate your patience as I move forward at the pace that works best for me. And I'm happy, and I'm really excited to get things rolling, but also not like overwhelm myself, but I am, I love you guys so much, like I mentioned earlier, and I'm excited to see what happens next to the Cozy Moth Knits in the future. And I hope that you guys will stick around with me as I make these, these changes for the better, and continue to go, or as I continue with my my knitting journey, and not just knitting, but other fiber crafts as well. So I'm going to leave it here for you guys. Thank you so much for visiting with me. I love visiting with you guys, and I'm happy that we finally got to talk again after, over a month of not really seeing each other face to face. And I'm looking forward to many other visits in the future. So thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there, keep knitting, and I will see you all later.